Hello, you guys. I'm gonna be quiet. Y'all didn't start until I got on here. Hey Suave. Hey, new to you. It says salutations, everyone. Hey, Diane. I'm gonna wait and start letting other people get the opportunity to get the notifications. Hey, Robert Map, plus size baddie, the Black Barbie. Yeah, we're not gonna be on here all night tonight. I always say that right. Hey, Jeremy. Probably like for like an hour and 10 or something like that. Hour and 30. Hey, D-Cat Daddy. How's everyone doing tonight? Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, to kick the video into the algorithm. She said, "We can't put a time in greatness. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it." I want to give more people the opportunity. Hey, Kimberly, to log on. You've been cheating us, Tam, hitting us with the short check. Today we did like 2 hours. Hey, Miss Nelly. Today we did like 2 hours. Hey, Shirley. Yeah, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the like button and share and subscribe. Hey, Taisha. Moderators, when they come in here with the foolishness, escort them to the door and lock them out. Yep. Has everybody eaten, y'all? I did grilled tacos tonight. I did grilled turkey tacos. And they was so freaking good. I made my own taco shells. They was light and good. And I grilled my turkey meat, of course. And I did a small thing of Spanish rice. It was so freaking good. And so now I'm ready to get on here. And I want to talk about Yo Gotti bit the hand that fed him and brought a cruel, evil energy to Memphis. Hey, Wing. Hey, Diane. Um, one of the things that I was thinking about, hey, Monica. One of the things that I was thinking about was that, with Yo Gotti, right? I thought about like um back in the 60s, right? Before a lot of us were even ever born. Um Dr. King had came to Memphis, right? And Dr. King was killed in Memphis. And a lot of people talk about how it seems like there was a blood stain, how there was like a dark entity and dark energy that had been over Memphis. Like my mom and my grandmother and all of them, who was around, they always spoke about, it seems like since that happened and there has not really been a resolution as it relates to that. There's the Civil Rights Museum and it's beautiful and all of that, but it seems like that was never really a resolution because there was a lot of um, things that happened as it relates to what happened to Dr. King. Like people backstabbing him. Um, it is believed that quite a few of the people that was in the movement with him got jealous of him and backstabbed him and helped to take him out and or help to line them up or whatever because they were in trouble, things of that nature. But we know that Dr. King was definitely a threat. And I say all the time because I love to read about my history. I like to eat, sleep, and breathe my history. I love it so much. Documentaries and stuff like that. Dr. King did not die, right? Because he had a dream. Dr. King died because he woke up, right? And what they want us to do is always remember Dr. King talking about, I have a dream, that I have a dream speech, when actually Dr. King lived, I think, about 2 or 3 years after he did that speech. And he actually he died because he was getting ready when he realized what they was doing to his people, what they was doing to African Americans. He got ready to he already had a lot of people behind him, right? It was a lot of people that supported him and that was behind him, just like there was the March on Washington. A lot of those same people was getting ready to go back to the White House once he saw that everybody was getting reparations in the United States, such as the Jews and things of that nature. When I think that the atrocities happened to the Jews in Germany, you know. But the United States was giving them reparations, but you have Africans who was forced over to the United States and made to be slaves and mistreated, and our ancestors, and still even during that time a lot of black people were being lynched and things of that nature, and they told black people to pull themselves up off of their bootstraps. And so that's the reason why we heard Dr. King say, I think I have led my people into a burning house. And so, you see a rare clipping that they really tried to scrub off of the internet where he says that we're going back to Washington and we're going to do another march, and we are going to demand that we get reparations for our people. Because as long as he was saying, let's kumbaya, let's hold hands, let us pee in the same bathroom with white people, hey, he understood that white people had an epiphany. And I know all white people aren't the same, but I'm talking about back then, when they was keeping blacks out of their stores and stuff. They said, okay, well, you know what? We'll start allowing black people to come into our stores. You know why? We'll take the black people's money, but we're not going to treat them. We're going to look at them the same. We'll just secretly start doing stuff. And so Dr. King caught on to that. And the year that he was killed, they were supposed to go back for a march on Washington with all of those people, because, that's why they try to keep us divided. They say that we're stronger in numbers to demand reparations, and he was killed 2 or 3 weeks before that was supposed to happen. Before that happened, they don't talk about that at all, right? And so they got him in Memphis, right? And I love the Civil Rights Museum. If you all ever get to Memphis, go to the Civil Rights Museum. It's timeless. It's just awesome. When you go to the hotel, they really did like a time capsule or time capture of his hotel room where everything is exactly the way that he left it, and you get the opportunity to look through the glass and see how they just everything was just like he left it, right? The cars that he had driven in and all of that. And then there's a lot of history throughout that museum. Okay. And so you hear a lot of people talk about, Dr. King, when Dr. King was killed, it seems like when he was killed in Memphis, because there was a lot of cover up, a lot of stuff that went on that should not have gone on. His family still does not have a whole lot of closure, right? And you hear a lot of the older people say, I think that's why Memphis has continuously had a dark spirit over it, right? And so um then years later, okay, you got somebody like a young Dolph, right? But before I even get into young Dolph, I want to talk about Yo Gotti, right? I have to talk about the history of it. Before I ever even heard of young Dolph, right? Yo Gotti was already out. And I have cousins because Yo Gotti is kind of like from around my era. Young Dolph comes from kind of like a different era, a younger era, because he's a little younger than us, right? So he was able to capture our audience and also a younger audience, right? But even before him, even before Yo Gotti, there was 3 6 in them. They were from my era, grew up with a lot of them, but Yo Gotti was one of those ones still that was able to kind of break out, right? He was kind of able to break out before he ever was on the outside of Memphis. He was doing shows in clubs. He wanted for the Memphians to come and support him. And a lot of the Memphians did mess with Yo Gotti the long way. Okay, even if they didn't like his personality, because you heard a lot of Memphians say that they, hey, they he did a whole lot of sucker stuff, right? But they still mess with it. His music still went to the clubs and supported him before anybody on the outside of Memphis knew him, because he was a Memphian, right? So, he was able to break out when he left Memphis. It was almost like Yo Gotti had tried to, many feel like he tried to disassociate himself from Memphis. He didn't even really want a whole lot of people to know that he was from Memphis, right? A lot of times people on the outside of Memphis felt like he might have been from Atlanta or something like that, because he didn't want to attach himself to Memphis. You see him doing it now because there are a lot of young men in Memphis. Is a hot city. It always was. It always was a trend setting city. A lot of hot rappers came from Memphis, right? But now it is blazing hot, and a lot of evil eyes is on Memphis because of the talent, because they see that Memphis is also a impoverished city, and they want to take advantage of the young men, right? So Yo Gotti, Memphis supported him, helped to raise him up, helped him to get money before he started, getting with the elites or whatever it is that he was with, And so then along comes Young Dolph. And I know a lot of people say, why do you always it's like why you always talking about Young Dolph and Yo Gotti? Because I want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and nip that right there because I want to. Okay. Memphis is my city, okay? And I have a love for the city and the people that I grew up in. I don't give a damn how I talk about it, how crazy and ignorant they are acting. I still have a love for the city and the people that I was born and raised in, okay? So Young Dolph comes after him. I didn't know a whole lot about Young Dolph's music, right? And I've always been honest about that. I started to learn more about Young Dolph when he was assassinated. I can remember when he was assassinated, and around this time, it was the district attorney's race. Okay. And so it was the district attorney's race. And I remember calling, there was she's the U.S. attorney, Linda Harris, right? She was in the race for district attorney. And I remember calling her, and she was bawling. She was, "Are you calling me about?" She a black lady, smart black lady. She said, "Are you calling me about what happened to Young Dolph? You see that? I mean, this is the United States attorney. She is." I said, no. She said, they killed young Dolph at a cookie shop. My kids are so upset. I mean, she was bawling on the phone, right? And the word had just started. So I got on the internet and I started seeing a lot of my Facebook friends. They started going over on airways. Okay. They started going on airways, and folks was like, wow, these people out here for Dolph, y'all. They say that's young Dolph over there at that cookie shop that they killed. Like, it seemed like the world started just going crazy, right? And so for people to say, well, Memphis didn't protect Dolph, stuff like that make me want to cuss a bitch out, okay? Because it's easy for people on the outside to say that they didn't protect him either, right? Because it was a lot of people that saw that debacle that young Dolph and Yo Gotti was in, and I say all the time that we should have chose. I say all the time we should have chose, right? When they had a consistent pattern of trying to kill him, we should have said if anything happens to young Dolph, because now it's not about the music. If anything happens to him, what we're going to do is Yo Gotti or anybody in his camp or label will never sell another record. We should have chose. We should have chose young Dolph's life. I feel like everybody on the inside of Memphis and on the outside of Memphis is responsible because we should have chose. We should have made Yo Gotti them know if anything happened to him, your career is over because you're going too far when you start trying to take a man's life. So I hold us all accountable, right? And so, anyways, I think about now how, Memphis helped to raise Yo Gotti up, his very own hometown. And then he brings that negative energy and is continuously bringing that negative energy and entity back to the city of Memphis, right? When young Dolph was assassinated, even before he was assassinated, when there was a consistent pattern of trying to take out a human being, y'all, he was a human being. We didn't hold his feet to the fire. We didn't hold him accountable. Okay. And then when young Dolph was assassinated, he sends his artists out to put a negative, demonic video that carried a lot of demonic energy, a demonic entity, and a demonic energy, and released it into the atmosphere. That video that he had Black Youngster to put out, that God gonna come back and whoop his ass cat raggedy for real soon, because you have to reap what you sow. Dolph was not even cold in his grave, right? And so we started seeing where when we found out who some of the people were that was involved in young Dolph's assassination around this time, Straight Drop and Cornelius and all of them, we saw how he that energy that he put into the atmosphere, he then spread it. We saw him boosting up Straight Drop, somebody who ain't even got no guidance, right? If I go to jail, if my little nigga go to jail, I'm getting him right back out. Straight Drop, I'm going to turn myself in and I'm going to get right back out. This is the negative energy that he put into the atmosphere, right? And so God was not pleased with what he did to young Dolph. You understand me? He was not pleased with it because the night that young Dolph was assassinated, God shook the earth. It was an earthquake that was in Missouri that could be felt all the way in Tennessee, right? He shook the earth. And since that situation has happened with young Dolph, it seems like an energy has been released into the atmosphere where people have lost their minds. Everybody is just taking everybody out, right? We see these little young dudes. We see how, and I got to be real with it, how, I was listening to some more vloggers talk about how at one time Big Jook them thought it was a strategy recently to go to the hoods of Frazier in North Memphis. And their strategy was to get those little dudes and give them chains and stuff and lead them to believe that they was getting ready to help them to get some money so that they can make them their crash dummies, right? Okay. What about Black Youngsters Brothers? That Saint Dolph had a hand in. Come on, grow up. Moderators, do what you do. Okay, moderators, do what you do, because I don't want negative forces in my chat. And so let me address that about Black Youngsters Brother. Okay, now I don't know who you are, sir. I don't know who you are, sir. But I'm not from Memphis, but I have family, and I must say I love your spirit. You keep, thank you, Dewan. Let me say this, sir. I was born in, I'm born and raised in Memphis. Everybody in Memphis just about knows each other, especially if they came from the hoods of South Memphis. Young Dolph didn't have anything to do with what happened to Black Youngsters Brother, sir. And I rebuke you in the name of Jesus for trying to come into my chat to continuously spread that venom to try and make people feel like that what Youngster and them did tried to make it seem like they had a reason to do what they did when they had no reason at all to take a father from his children. He was a human being, and young Dolph was not even theirs to take. Young Dolph was God's, not theirs. Yo, God in them, I don't care how much money they borrow or they think they got, they still ain't God. They had no right to do it. Kiss my ass and get out my chat. I hope y'all block them. Moderators, keep that shit out my chat. I love y'all, but y'all know they're gonna start coming in droves. They putting a battery in the monkey's back. Get them, keep them up out my chat. Block they asses. Don't put them in timeout. Block them. Okay, because what they want to try to do is break my concentration. Okay. But I think about how Yo Gotti, okay, bit the hand that fed him, because Memphis helped to put Yo Gotti on. It was the Memphians that was getting out, going to them hole in the wall clubs, okay, that was supporting him. And then along came another young man who God gave knowledge, right? Another young man who God gave knowledge to learn the business, came from nothing, said I was a crack baby, started to rise up. Okay. Everything has a season. That's the reason why you're supposed to take advantage of opportunities. And when your season is over, you bow out gracefully. If it comes, if you bow out gracefully. If it comes back around, then you take advantage of it again. But my God, everything has a season, and then all seasons come to an end, and then another flower starts to gloom and bloom, right? And that was young Dolph. And God gave him another strategy. He decided to go the independent route. Okay. And I know a lot of people talk about, well, I don't know how you compare, I don't know how you gonna compare young Dolph to being a prophet. Well, if you know your Bible, God says that prophets come to spread the word, right? Prophets come to liberate the people, right? And so what did God do? God rose up a crack baby who was born in the worst of circumstances, allowed his grandmother to raise him up, had a hunger on the inside of him, gave him knowledge. Because if you listen to some of the people that went to school with young Dolph, they say he was always smart. Took that street smarts that he had a hunger, and then took the smarts that God gave him, and then learned the recipe and went the independent route. Came to liberate, because what's going on now? All of these young men in Memphis is it's blazing. It's blazing. And oftentimes evil people, especially when they're led by greed, they start looking at a city that is full of diamonds. These young dudes don't understand, especially those that are out there that can rap. They don't even understand the type of gifting and the type of talent that they truly have that can make generational wealth for them and their families, right? So you have people that's looking at the city And I believe that Yo Gotti is in cahoots with them. Okay, they understand that Memphis is an impoverished city. They see everybody within the city fighting with each other. It was already happening, but it turned up 10 times after Young Dolph was assassinated, right? So you have people within, you have evil entities and evil energies stalking out these young dudes, dangling bread and money in their faces, right? Saying, listen, I got this for you if you do this, okay? Because but they understand that these young dudes don't know, because they have not been guided right. They don't understand that your gifts will make room for you, right? You ain't got to go and commit no hits. You ain't got to take on nobody's beef. Your gifts will make room for you. That's the word right there. So they go and get somebody weak minded, like Straight Drop and some of these other little dudes that's inside of their camp, that their names ain't been brought up, but they gonna go to jail. They're gonna be indicted, okay, and mess their lives up and get them to come into cahoots and dangle stuff. Okay, well, we'll promote you, because when people say, what Straight Drop have to gain? Y'all already know it is alleged that Straight Drop had gotten signed, right, to somebody's management company within the CMG camp. Okay, we started seeing him doing features, right, getting features with Moneybag Yo's artists. We got to be real, y'all. We can't omit that. That ain't just by chance. They did to him what the devil tried to do to Jesus. That's the reason why I say these folks is wrong. They got an evil, cruel energy and entity over them, and God gonna take them down if he don't kill them dead, okay? Because he says, Pharaoh, you got to let my people go. And it's a darn shame that Black people feel comfortable with all that our ancestors went through, right? Black people feel comfortable with doing the stuff that they're doing to each other, okay? All of these crabs in a barrel, one rise up. Okay, I'll throw you a crumb if you go and mess your life up. Why even get up out of the barrel? Why even pull somebody up out of the barrel if you just gonna send them to the prison? How is that helping them? To give them temporary gratification. You take somebody like Black Youngster, who came from Black Youngster came from, I grew up in South Memphis in Clementine, but we was able to move out and move to a beautiful neighborhood when I was 12. Okay, but Black Youngster grew up in the low end. He came from the where I grew up in was the trenches, where my cousins them lived there around Parkway and Bulletin and Roanoke. That was the trenches, Taylor. But where Black Youngster grew up in was the end of South Memphis, was the low end, the gutter. And he was able to rise up. He helped to pull him up out of that. And I already know what Black Youngster went through. He had some hard living. I don't know him, but I know he had hard living. And so, because people don't have any guidance, right? He feels like Gotti has done a service to him because he pulled him up out of the gutter with an agenda and dangled some money in his face, gave him all of the riches that he had never had, right? Isn't that what the devil did? The reason why he starts to tempt you, right? But he only pulled him out. What good is having all of that temporary stuff when you're gonna have to leave it and go straight to prison? I'm preaching today. I ain't telling no, I can't lie on nobody. I wouldn't do it. I gotta speak the truth, y'all. And so I'm tired of all of these negative energies, and it does something to my nerve when I start seeing a lot of these people that they put on the internet to get on here to try and come at me, or to try and speak illy about Young Dolph. I'm gonna get ready to tell y'all something right now, okay? Because I've had an epiphany. Young Dolph soul is gone on. The way that Young Dolph was taken out, it was heinous in nature. I don't care who you are. You don't come into my chat and ever disrespect him again, ever, I'm going to block you. It's going to be different in 2024. I've tried to let people have, I've tried to allow people, I didn't want to be controlling. I wanted for people to be able to speak how they felt, but don't come into my chat disrespecting the dead. God raised that boy up, and because they could not stand to see him be blessed, they destroyed him. Moderators, I don't get to see everything that go on in my chat because I be looking at my picture and looking at everything else when I'm talking. Block, excuse my French, but I'm a South Memphis girl. My mama, I hope my mama ain't on here, but I'm getting ready to say it because I can be hood sometimes. Block they motherfucking ass, okay? If they come in here disrespecting Young Dolph. People ought to have more couth. It ain't nothing right about what they did to Young Dolph. It ain't nothing right about it. And then to bring put another blood stain on our city is evil. A city that's still feeding their families. They got businesses. Their families have gotten businesses off of the backs of the Memphians that support them. They got restaurants and stuff. And this is the type of energy that they bring to a city that's creating generational wealth for their family. Another Memphian that was doing the same thing. Young Dolph was feeding folks. He had employees. And he was liberating the minds of these little young dudes. And they shot themselves in the foot because they put a gem in their grave, in his grave. It's a damn shame before God. Yo Gotti should be ashamed of himself. And so when people say, well, Yo Gotti didn't have nothing to do with it. Well, then I got to put it at his feet. You know why? Because I got businesses. When something go on with my business, they don't blame my investigators. You know who they blame? Because they paid me the money. They blame me. So I got to take that and make it right. Okay? I got to make that right. They don't look at my investigators because they do the business with me. So anything that anybody up under him do, whether it's Juke or whoever, I got to send it up. And he's supposed to be the one at the top. So I lay it on top of his head. But if we're going to be real, we already know that he was the one that wanted them gone. Okay? He wanted them gone. It started with him and it's going to end with him. And if these vloggers with they bottom feeding asses that's all over the internet capping for him, doing all of this crazy stuff, this hacking, this craziness, trying to find people so that I guess they call themselves his hitmen. Okay? They would get out while they still could, but a lot of them in too deep anyways. They got in too deep when they set up Jeremiah Taylor. Okay? And before anybody say, well, I think Sco did it. I don't know if Sco did that. I just know that these Negroes know how to hack, and Jeremiah Taylor had been on the internet. I believe they hacked him and found out where. We see what they do now. The same ones that was trying to put hits on Miss Lowdown, me, and everybody else. I believe those were the same ones that tried to put the hit. That was the same ones that did that to Jeremiah Taylor. If we gonna be real about it. Okay. So I say to y'all, that's call yourselves the internet hit people. Your days are numbered. We know who they are. Y'all, I don't get on here and throw hints out for nothing. I ain't no damn fool. I'm just a nice person. But I ain't no damn fool. Sometimes I play the fool. I can't do the type of job that I do and be a damn fool. People calls for me to do investigative work. You motherfuckers thought because you hacked my phone, I didn't know y'all was listening, bitch. I was setting up a pattern for you bottom feeding motherfuckers and watch and see, don't you do some federal time. That's how cold I am, bitch. Okay. But he brought a negative energy. Okay. A cruel energy to the city of Memphis. Okay. A cruel energy. Then he went on the outside. Look at all them damn fools down in Texas that think that they gonna get their artists on by sitting on here getting folks information and getting them knocked off like they did Jeremiah Taylor. Okay. And I got somebody in mind. I know people gonna say, is it Sco? It ain't Sco I got in mind, but I got somebody in mind. Okay. But it's a darn shame before God, y'all. But but as it relates to Jeremiah Taylor, and the only reason why y'all notice I've never brought up Jeremiah Taylor, the only reason why I brought up Jeremiah Taylor and I've been bringing him up is because I had a conversation with a friend of mine that worked for the PD in the investigative unit. And what I'm going to tell you is them folks on top of that. And so what's all this for? That's what I'm trying to understand. What is it all for? Why, y'all? Why? We see what happened to Straight Drop, and Straight Drop was a 22, 23-year-old young man, basically a child that was already misguided. Yo God and them could have took Straight Drop and made him into something. He could be a better rapper. Straight Drop, I always say he's a nice looking child. Okay? He's a nice looking young man. They could have marketed him to the young girls and they could have made him something. But instead, they did to Straight Drop. This is the Bible just revealing itself all over again. When Jesus was in the wilderness, and when Jesus went on a fast in the wilderness, and the devil tried to tempt Jesus when he wanted to commune with God. Okay. And Jesus, the devil told Jesus that he could make water into bread or wine into bread so that he can eat it. And Jesus said, we shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of that Bible. Okay. And so then it said Jesus went to the top of the mountain and then he rested after he had resisted the devil. These labels doing the same thing to these young dudes. They know Memphis is an impoverished city, but it's a darn shame for a Memphian to take part in it. Yo Gotti and Juke them grew up in the streets of Memphis. They know how hard it is. They see how these young dudes is hurting and suffering. But the devil dangles bread. You gonna eat in their faces. All you got to do is do this. And because they ain't got no guidance, they ain't God, they don't know how to resist. And what ends up happening? There's either some retaliation or life in prison. Dudes that we help to put on and raise up single-handedly, helping to take down the city, biting a hand that's still feeding them and ain't got no qualms about it because we done made it out. Now we don't give a damn what happened to them. We use them to come up. Long as they go and continuously go into our businesses and create generational wealth for our family, damn the ones that's left out there. And when we can use them to go and do something that's going to get themselves or their families messed off, that's what we're going to do. And that's what they doing. Okay? It's a darn shame before God. So you got people on the outside that looks in at that's looking at the Memphis news every single day because they feel like this is gonna be my come up. Ooh, let me look at the Memphis news, y'all. Make sure y'all look to see what's bad going on. Ooh, something bad going on. They killing themselves. It's something worthy of talking about. Oh, I hope it's something juicy so I can. Ain't nobody praying for Memphis. They hoping for the worst. Nigga, you brought that energy to our city. Every day they get up, the first thing they do is hoping for something bad that has happened in Memphis so that they can report on it. Because it's all about numbers and money. And if that wasn't good enough, you went and hired a bunch of damn bottom feeding vloggers on the outside of Memphis that's getting ready to go down too. I wonder if he gonna pay for them lawyers' fees to create an even worse. You know, you got to be sick when you are part of taking somebody out and then hire some people to continuously disrespect the person even in their death. And that man got children, that man got family. That wasn't good enough. But you know what's so sad to me? That the vloggers that they paying the crumbs to willing to do it. They willing to do it. They willing to jump on their lives. Young Dolph family killed him. Young Dolph mama killed him. Young Dolph Mia J killed him. I think Lil Trey and them killed him. Marcus killed him. Everybody but the people that did it. Y'all killed a man, put a hole in his family's heart. And then you sick enough to take money. It ought to be some things that some of these men and women won't do for money. Is there anything that people won't do for money? Do people have any type of integrity? Is everybody just jelly back now? Yeah, you go say Young Dolph mama, I'll give you a few hundreds. Go say Young Dolph mama did it. Say she was on drugs and she did it. Oh yeah, I take that. It ought to be some men to say, no, nigga. No, I get money. I can get money another way. I ain't gonna let you send me out to do that. If you want it, you can say it. You go say it. But no, I can't do that. Okay? But everybody doing anything for crumbs. Anything for crumbs. And I think it's a damn shame before God. So Yo Gotti bit the hand that fed him. It was the Memphians. The Memphians was crazy about Yo Gotti, and he still got a pretty big fan base. You know why? Because some people don't want to accept, even though they know it. They rather put it all at the feet of his brother and say, damn, I think he had too much going on. Man, I hate to believe that man did that. Even though I know he probably did, man, I just hate to believe that. It's just sad. It's a darn shame before God, right? And to be consistently, I waited. When Straight dropped, when he was supposed to go to court on Monday, he did go to court on Monday. And they gave him until December the 1st to decide if he was going to plead out. What I did was I said, well, God, because I always be in commune with God. I said, well, God, I'm going to see. And Yo Gotti, some more people was waiting to see if you was going to say something. I ain't one to gossip, but I can bring a little sugar and honey to the tea. And you did exactly that because that is your history. Anytime something big happens with Straight Drop, he's going to put out cryptic messages. It was nothing about the day when I got on and I had thought about saying something. And then I looked at Straight Drop. Okay. And I saw how sad he looked. And I said, it's a darn shame because Straight Drop got to pay for everything that he has done. But up under Yo Gotti and Big Jook And all of the rest of them, okay? And all of the rest of them, Straight Drop is a child. He's a child. And so you sitting there, you putting out, it seemed like to me, cryptic messages. And now Straight Drop understands that it's getting real. It's real. It's over. But this is why I say, and it's not just as it relates to Memphis, it's anywhere, because it's talented people everywhere. Before we start raising these people up and making them so-called stars and celebrities, we gotta make sure that they are worthy of it. And just like we take them up, when they put out the type of energy like these Negroes put out, it's our money that raise them up. We need to pull back our resources and take them down. And so I feel like it's a shame before God that this man bit the hand that fed him and brought and still continues to bring a evil and cruel energy to the city of Memphis. Now, people might say, well, Black Youngster, he had been quiet. Well, he put a battery in Black Youngster's back. And then uh Black Youngster didn't know how to let that energizer die. He didn't know how to let it die. And so when he realized how the folks was on his tail, he had to sit him down for a little while. But you know what I noticed? That whenever there was some stuff to come up, like with Snoop bands or with anything, some smoke, he would always go back and put another battery in his back, and then Black Youngster will rise up again. Black Youngster, I hate you. You felt like God, it was your God, because the real, true, living God gonna show you who the real God is, and it ain't Gotti. But they brought a negative entity and energy to the city that helped to raise them up, and it's a darn shame before God, right? It's a darn shame before God. And when I was sitting, I was thinking about that. And I think about it all the time, because I think about like all of the chaos that's going on. It turned up the night that Young Dolph was killed. And regardless to what people say, I know folks that made a whole lot of money off of talking about, well, the Memphians, nobody in Memphis cared anything about Dolph. Y'all, it's too many people on here tonight for me, because my mama might be on here, because I put this link on my main page, because I want to say some cuss words, but I'm not gonna say it, okay? Because they know what they could do. But the night that Young Dolph was assassinated, it was like the Taliban or whatever. It was like the World War III, and what's so frustrating is that when they did that to him, they went back to their mansions. They went and they had the money to go underground. They had the money to do all of that. And who was left were those little dudes that they gassed up, because they had to go right back to their hoods, right? They had to go right back to their hoods and live. So all of the retaliation was on them. And you know what's so sad? That's what they understood. They knew that they could go somewhere to an undisclosed location and go underground. But they understood that those little dudes would have to go right back to South Memphis and stuff, and they could be touched. Right. And so that's what these little dudes need to understand the next time they start dangling money and stuff in their faces. Okay. Is that now I got my family. Hey, I got to live in these hoods. And I'm not taking on your beef. I'm not killing a man for you. If a real man got an issue with a man, you go knock that chip off his shoulder. But ain't no so-called celebrity got no business thinking that the public is supposed to support them, and they releasing all of that negative energy and evil into cruel energy into the atmosphere, regardless to what they feel. They got a responsibility to the people that help to make them rich, right? And so it goes back to what I always talk about, holding people's feet to the fire and making sure that they are held accountable, especially when we got them and our children are looking at them on the TV screen and then the media. So your God, it bit the hand that fed him. And I know a lot of people say, well, you know, it wasn't your God. As far as I'm concerned, it was him. Hell. Right? Because even if somebody knows something is going to go on and they don't stop it, they still to blame. Okay? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all, we don't even have 100 likes. Y'all run the likes up for me. Keep running the likes all the way up. And so, y'all, it's not going to get any better until we start holding people accountable. See, as long as we say something, he says, Jizzle, I'm the door next year. I'm telling y'all. It's not going to get any better until we start holding people accountable in our communities. It's not. There was no reason for them to do what they did to Young Doll. Like I said, if you can't stand to be talked about, if you mad about some words, then the entertainment industry is not the industry for you. Who your God to think he is? They talked about Jesus Christ. Who he think he is that he can't be talked about? If they talked about the real God. So you think you take out one of God's kids, you and your people. And so there has to that you got to pay for those things. But to be continuously bringing that negative energy, and then for them to say, well, you know, if your God and them people blaming them, if I were them, I just stay away from Memphis. Good. They should have stayed away a long time ago. Hell, before they brought that negative energy, they should have been there. If you hate a city they have to put you on that much, you should have just stayed your ass on the way and don't come back ever and get to pack your businesses and all your family businesses and stuff up and go somewhere else and hijack that city. Because see, when you got businesses and stuff in a community, in a city, and you don't feel like you're supposed to give back, but you putting destruction, you hijacking the city. If y'all don't talk to people who don't ask this man about Dolph since he died, they'll tell you he looked right the ground while talking straight. If y'all done talk to people who done asked this man about Dolph since he died. Okay. So then when young Dolph was assassinated, right? They thought that they was God. Some of these folks thought that they was God so much. They said what's gonna happen is his artists ain't gonna be able to make it because young Dolph was the head, and we're gonna take down their head. And that's gonna take the whole label down. But how many people know when you build something on a solid foundation that it ain't easy to take down? And then when there's a real, true, living God, and you can't take it down anyways, because you mere man, right? So then what they started trying to do was they started going at his artist, Key Glock. They was so scared of the rise of Key Glock because they knew that young Dolph, Key Glock had been up under young Dolph, right? So they had their vloggers immediately going at him. Okay. And I think about some of these vloggers now that we're starting to figure out who they are, who they really are behind the scenes. And a lot of them are in the entertainment industry or hope to get into the entertainment industry. And I wonder if because they went at Key Glock so hard, was it because somebody had promised them if they can actively work at getting a energy going towards Key Glock, then we'll put your artist on or something like that. Because we know these folks will go eat shit out of somebody's damn draws for a contract. A lot of these damn men ain't got no, they ain't men no more. They ain't got no standards. They ain't lifting up no standards. Okay. They'll go eat shit out of somebody's draws. Okay. That's the reason why I say I don't know who these people serve, because they feel like they need man to make it. And so when these people come at them with unrealistic propositions, they don't know how to turn it down. The Bible says that when the enemy comes in like a flood, God will lift up the standards, which means that the enemy can't touch you. Each and every time that the enemy try to come at you, if you're living righteously, he'll raise you up. He'll start raising you up where the enemy can't touch you. He'll lift up the standard. But people don't even believe their word no more. They going and consulting with the dead and the witches. And they look at that as their God. And that's the reason why a lot of them having heart attacks and overdosing at early ages. Because they serving the devil. They going and consulting with witches. Because they feel like they can block somebody's blessing when every time you go down there to the grave or you go and get a hex and you think you're going to spew it at me and my family or somebody else in their family that's covered, God going to lift up a standard. And before you know it, nigga, you'll be dead of an overdose. Because evil can never override good or light. And so just like with young Dolph, okay, they put their hands on the wrong one, y'all. Sometimes you can just put your hands on the wrong one. It's some people that you just can't mess with. I would have gotten scared that night when God shook the earth. It's some people that you just can't mess with. Okay? You just can't mess with them. Because the moment you mess with them, you don't recuperate. Okay? And so it's not an accident that, because I'm honest, I knew Your Goddess music. Young Dolph came in an era after I came. I didn't know a whole lot about his music until after he was assassinated. Okay? And when I started looking at the philanthropy and everything that he had been doing for the city of Memphis, as a matter of fact, I got the opportunity to, and I still didn't know who he was. I walked into a Debo's on Elvis Presley. And young Dolph was sitting in the Debo's and walked up to me and the Debo's and said, "Hey, little mama, can you do me a favor? If I pay for your food, Can I? All you got to do is listen to my CD. And then everybody that started coming in after me, he was doing the same thing. He was a marketing genius. He sat right there in Debo's eating that chicken. Everybody walked in. He walked up to him, hand them out a CD, and say, "If you listen to my CD, I'll pay for your food." The boy got it out the mud. And then them devils couldn't stand to see him be blessed. So then they want to try to take Key Glock down because they feared the rise of Key Glock. Can y'all believe that? I'm hearing that the police says, that's how cold the police is. Them investigators, them undercover investigators had got some intel that some vloggers had gotten Key Glock's address, and they wanted to try to send somebody out. So it makes you wonder. That's why I say, y'all, that's the reason why I've had to report everything. Who are these vloggers? Why would they want to get Key Glock's address? Who's got the systems to even get Key Glock's address and try and solicit somebody to go and take him out? Who would do that? Oh, but that ain't for me. That's for the people that's working it. I said that to say this. These folks sick. You got grown men, y'all, in their 40s, late 30s, and 40s that feel like they're sitting on the internet creating all this chaos. And for what? For what? These men, a lot of them are old enough to be people like Straight Drop's father, even Key Glock's father. And they work to destroy their lives. They work to destroy their lives. So Yo Gotti, you bit the hand that fed you, because I was a Yo Gotti's fan. I was a Yo Gotti's fan before I was a Young Dolph's fan, y'all. And as I always say, I don't straddle the fence. People say, "Well, you picking sides." I almost said something, but God, thank you for holding my tongue, because I was getting ready to cuss somebody. I was getting ready to start cussing. Okay. I don't pick sides. I always stand on the side of what's right. And even if I mess up and choose the wrong side because of misinformation, you better believe once I figure out some stuff, I'm going to get back over to the side that I'm supposed to be on. And that's the side of what's right. Y'all, that's the problem with our people. Ain't nobody righteous no more. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You'll never catch me straddling the fence. That's a trait that I'm proud to have. I don't straddle the fence. It's some people that they straddle the fence so much. They sit on the fence so much they got splinters up their ass, because they always want to sit in the middle and straddle the fence, because ain't nobody righteous no more. They scared if they stand on the side of what's right. Well, I'm gonna miss an opportunity, when the Bible said that your gifts make room for you. So if you do what's right, you ain't gonna be able to miss an opportunity. Man can't give you no opportunities. It always come from God. It is God that touched the heart of man to make them bless you. Right? But he bit the hand that fed him. Young Dolph is not supposed to be in this grade. And so I hear people say, well, it was just God's time. Straight Dropping them and Cornelius and the rest of them that was out there, they wasn't none of God. What you talk about? Well, it was God. God came and got Young Dolph. You a damn lie. Them niggas went out there and shot him. I ain't see God out there. There wasn't no God act. That was the devil. I get tired of that. It ain't man's job to decide when somebody else's time to go. Okay? And so that's the reason why I'm glad that we do have an omnipresence of Almighty God to show to do a demonstration on these Negroes who have irresponsibly handled the blessings that God has given them with their money by taking God's people out. Well, they don't act right. I'm gonna take them out. You got a bunch of damn fools. You know they're gonna give me $5,000 to go take somebody out, and that's the reason why you see them with their damn brains splattered all over the damn sidewalk. They wasn't using it when it was inside their head, so they go act a damn fool and somebody knock it out. Okay. But they handled it irresponsibly, y'all. And he still is. Believe it or not, the people that's responsible, whoever it, all of them, God gonna make them pay for what they did to young Doll. God gonna make them pay for what they did to young Doll. And God gonna make them pay, believe it or not, God gonna make them pay for how they misguided straight drop. It was a bunch of old niggas that dangled, did to straight drop what the devil tried to do to Jesus. Straight drop just didn't know how to resist the devil. And God gonna make them pay for that, because straight drop is still a child. He's still a young adult who had his whole life ahead of him that they have ended because he got to spend the rest of his life in jail. So not only are they gonna pay for what they did to young Dolph, they're gonna pay for messing up straight drop's life, because what they were supposed to do, straight dropping them are supposed to represent our future. You motherfuckers old. Okay? We all the same age in our 40s. They misguided him, and they're gonna pay for it. Black youngster in his 30s, I know he'd know better. But they're gonna pay for misguiding somebody that ain't 100% mentally, okay? Even though he know better, and he still he won't accept it so bad. He want to let the devil use him, but God gonna bring him down to his knees real soon. Okay. And I believe that's gonna be one to have an epiphany too. Mark my word. Watch and see, don't he have an epiphany? Because see, people have a when somebody is giving them a false sense of security, people do a lot until they realize that that person is just mere man, just like them, and full of shit. Folks will say anything to get you to do what they want you to do if you ain't got sense enough to discern. Okay. I think it's a darn shame before God. It's a darn shame before God. Black youngster don't even know that your God in them had wanted to throw him away. I want to say something so bad, but I just can't say it. I want to say it so bad, but guess what? He gonna see. He gonna see real soon that them dudes ain't one ride ain't studying him. They never was. I ain't got to say nothing because it's gonna play out anyways. And that's when he gonna have that epiphany. And before people say, well, she just getting on here for Facebook views. Facebook don't pay not damn bill I got. The little check that went up a little bit. I'm able to put more water bottles, alkaline water, and stuff in my office for my clients. Okay. I went today and got me a whole lot of hand sanitizers and stuff to put in my office. So when my clients walk in, the first thing that they could do is clean their hands so that they can eat all that candy and stuff, that good candy. Not no cheap candy, all that good candy and the potato chips and stuff I got for them. I like for them to be happy when they spending their money. Okay? Because you're going to spend a bag when you walk up in there. Okay. So I don't get on here and do anything for no views or for no money. I ain't hard up for no money. I go take every trade there is. So I never lacks. And because I serve a mighty good God, I never goes without. Okay. And because I had a daddy that was a real man, I'm going to pick up my new SUV tomorrow. Praise God. I almost did the Holy Ghost when I thought about that. Okay. And YouTube ain't no YouTube check, not now cent of it paid for nothing. Okay. Y'all hit the like button. So y'all, it's gonna have to be a different mindset. And I'm serious. It's got to be a different mindset in our community. It do. It's got to be a different mindset. We can't prop people up. You know, I see a lot of people look at celebrities, and God wasn't pleased with that, like they looked at Baal. You know, when the like the children of Israel walking around in the wilderness for 40 years. You know, for some reason, people like to praise celebrities like um, um, I don't know if it was the children of Israel that was praising Baal, which was a stature, praising idols, and God wasn't pleased with that. God wasn't pleased with that. And so then and that's the reason why a lot of people end up I truly believe, you know, that's the reason why God allow us to go through a lot of hurts with certain people, because oftentimes we start idolizing people, even certain people in our lives. We'll start to idolize them. We love them so much, we start to put them up in a place, in them high places that we should only have God. And then before you know it, they let you down. And so we'll say, but the devil did this. Everything ain't the devil. Sometimes we give the devil too much credit. Sometimes it's God, because you had that idol, that person that you love so much, propped up in a place that you should have only had God. Okay. And a lot of these people prop these celebrities up and put them up in high places that only God should be. These celebrities ain't God, they mere man. And they have a responsibility to the communities that they service via their music, what they put out on their social medias now, and really the lifestyles that they live and promote to the media. Because everything that they doing behind closed door, they're putting it, they're promoting it into the atmosphere for everybody to look at it, and they're releasing the negative energy. Okay, that's what they're doing. It's sad. It's sad, y'all. Y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all run the likes up for me. Please like, share, and subscribe, okay? And that helps to kick the video into the algorithm. Okay, that helps to kick the video into the algorithm. So I would appreciate that. Like, share, and subscribe. Um, yes, indeed. Thank you. I prayed on a lot of things while I worked on them. It's very sad, and these youngsters have eyes, but still can't see that they are being misguided. Still can't see that they're being misguided. They're leading them straight to the grave. I was looking at Trey Slimes. Trey Slimes is a very very nice looking little kid. He's got he reminds me of another celebrity when he smiles, right? And I don't really listen to his music, but I started listening to something that he had. I go to his page sporadically. Yeah, very seldom do I go to his page. But Trey Slimes is really a baby. Trey Slimes is about 20 or 21 years old. And it's a darn shame that they have gotten him. Um, somebody that's been paying close attention to Trey Slimes said if they don't get him away from them folks, Trey Slimes, they'll be shocked if he lives 6 months after the beginning of the year, if he make it to the beginning of the year. And that's what I'm talking about. They feel like if they start outsourcing a lot of this negative energy, right? If they start outsourcing it to some of their label mates, like or people up under those up under the CMG label, like Lil Migo and all of them, you go get somebody to do your dirty work. You keep your hands clean. This is what they're doing. It's what they're doing. Trey Slimes is a baby. And not one time has any of them tried to be a positive influence to him. Trey Slimes younger than my damn babies. It's a darn shame before God. Instead of these black men trying to be role models, they instead they continuously you know push destruction in their very own community and wonder why they can't catch a break. Right? The white man don't want me to catch a break. The white man just on my ass. Now God is on your ass, and he whooping it raggedy because you ain't righteous. You ain't right. You misguiding your community. If Trey Slime said that he's gonna kill Grove Hero, it's because they told him to say it. Trey Slimes don't know anything about Grove Hero. He don't even know him. I bet he's probably never even met him. So that's something that Black Youngster and Lil Migo got him saying. And so they push him to put that negative energy into the atmosphere. So what happens? That makes him a target. But the best thing that can happen for Trey Slimes is that he go to jail, because them folks that's around him pushing him to die. That's what they doing. How come they not pushing his music? Why aren't they doing that? Because if they really cared about him, they would be telling him, look, little nigga, you gotta tell it. We gotta make money. We gotta make money. So you can't be caught up in no beefs, period. But they don't want that. This man, so hell, Il Migo got him going at Kenny, best boy, saying he gonna take his legs, all type of shit. They deleted the live, Miss T. You know what's going on. So now they got Trey Slimes going at Kenny Money. Lord have mercy. Well, somebody said to me, and I won't say who said it because they might not want me to say it. that that Lil Migo went and signed Trey Slimes so that he wouldn't have to get his hands dirty no more. Now that's what they said. Now he ain't got to get his hands dirty no more. And their strategy was to go sign them little dudes in Frazier. But I don't hear anything about those guys in Frazier. So some of those were dudes that was a little older. So I don't think that they fell for the okie doke. But the plan, according to this person, was to also sign those dudes in Frazier to get them to go at Young Dolph's artists. If they on here listening, don't let them do it. If they it ain't about the money and rapping, because you already come from the trenches. Don't let them do that to y'all. I'm telling y'all what the game is. Don't let them do it. Rest in peace, Young Dolph says Kevin Felder, no cap, bro. It was like, okay, it's first, but now they're getting to hold on Facebook. Facts, now he ain't got to pay D Dog. Trey Slime got the guys from Ridgecrest Apartments ready to crash. Oh wow. Yeah, I guess Michelle. I guess he think he have. Mm. Oh, Adaj, that young man digging a ditch from Grove Hero. He better dig too. Cause little dude, my grandma used to always say when the you ain't got to dig two ditches because that one you digging is yours. All you need to do is dig one. That very one you digging for me is the one you gonna fall in. Oh my goodness, I was supposed to call somebody back tonight. And I just thought about, oh, I need to let her know that I forgot to call her. Oh Lord, I need to text her. And what's so crazy, they treat Facebook like a game, post all type of shit. Trey said he back. Don't think he forgot. You gonna die. Can't pull it up right now, Miss T. He said, and what's so crazy, that threat Facebook, treat Facebook like a game, post all types of stuff. Trey said he back. Don't think he forgot. You gonna die. Oh my God. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I don't know what to think. It's just sad. And they go get these young guys who they know that all they want is to be accepted. Duke Main Brick Gang, Duke Main bad, effed up, bro. For real, for real. He telling these people they knew what came with dealing with him. Like, huh? These boys did not say, okay, I'm gonna die. For you basically bag on weird timing, cutting off. Mm, mm. Moneybag got real cold eyes. Okay, he um. Let's see, you have to let a fool be a fool because a fool is a fool. Trip, no, he can't even drop right now until Bag say, okay, it's cool. And that's gonna be when Fat make him some more money. He another Gotti now. Who's Trip? Oh wow. And then one of them that ride with him, Trip Star. No, he effed up with that deal. Tripstar Bag artist, he was signed to Doll before at first it was Glock Fizzle and Trip. Oh wow. Mm. Oh my God. Also Trip plays switcheroo. I told you they be trying to get niggas that Dolph cut and make them look like power players. Dolph believed in all these niggas before anybody, and I'm waiting to get told I'm capping. Yeah, because Dolph believed in Moneybag before Gotti did. You know, people say Gotti wasn't even really interested in Moneybag until he saw Dolph dealing with him. You know, I don't know if it's true or not, but I was told that Dolph was interested in signing Big Boogie. Miss T's suggestion, and you know you're the boss of you, but you can't let this affect your health. Please talk to a member of the clergy you respect enough to listen. Okay, New Era. I'm okay, New Era. I am. I'm okay. Yeah, I would never let anybody get me upset again to where my pressure goes up. And I think I only got upset then because that I had got that mad because I'd had some other stuff dealing with these folks on here that had went on that week, that same week, and was dealing with something that day. Bag to head, know what? He told Doc, yeah, bro, we locked his home, yeah, with the whoop. Gotti got that little man from Lil Land Syndrome. Hey, Crystal. Y'all make sure y'all are hitting the like button for me. Like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. He says they told Keon. Hold on. He says they told Keon, delete the post, bruh. It's misunderstanding. Keon pissed at them right now. What they not telling people. Hmm. Oh wow. You guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Hey T lady, you live, you learn. The respect you have for your dad, they would never break you. You're a made woman. They got to respect that. You got the juice. Thank you, DJ Sipsaw. Miss T said that Moneybag Yo didn't pass the smell test. I bet he told Dolph competition a lot that he found out about Dolph. Yeah. Yeah, Cypress probably is in the bushes. I saw Cypress in here earlier. He might be in the bushes, he might not be. Finally able to catch it live. Amazon finally slowing down a little bit. Ooh, I know Amazon has been very busy. It's the Christmas season. Wow. So so what does SIP mean? Does it mean sleep in peace? That was the fakest shit ever. Finesse words we never matter. Gotti ain't no king of shit, but Cap Finesse having his brother jumped. Misty. Cypress, you so quiet. People wondering where you at. Cypress must be with his girlfriend tonight, child. I think Cypress with his girlfriend. Or with somebody's girlfriend, because he don't care who he be with. Um, Finesse better be close. That back door. And Cypress with somebody girlfriend, child, because he don't care who it is. That's a lust demon. You foul anyways, refriending bag knowing y'all did what y'all did. Hey, Fat Packs. Lord have mercy. He said, Finesse a sucker. Mm-mm-mm. Lord have mercy. Oh, it is just too much going on. I promise to God. Yeah, Miss T, what's happening? Nothing much, Russell. You doing okay? No Love was already hard on him. Was No Love the one that he sent to the show with the mask on? Was that No Love that he sent? Or was that one of his other brothers? Was that No Love that Finesse tried to trick the people into believing it was him? Lord have mercy. Mm. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, hit the like button for me. Y'all make sure y'all have all of y'all's notifications turned on, okay? Make sure all of your notifications are turned on. Oh man. Am I missing comments? He says No Love came in bopping like Finesse. Them folks instantly did it. That yeah, they did. They knew they look alike, but you could tell them apart. I keep watching the live over and over. He had a good knot and ain't no coming back from that. Yeah, he had a big old knot on top of his head. He had a big old knot on top of his head, y'all. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. Like, share, and subscribe. Um, says ever since they say he physically abused women, I lost respect for him. That one of them ain't mean to MLs. He ran into the fist. Mm. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. That's one of them ain't mean. Okay. They holding that man for some BS really because they didn't want to pay Jizzle. I got to text Miss T behind the scenes about that they really been trying to make some power moves. Oh wow. Linking with the FedEx owner. Yeah, they know he's a power broker. Fred Smith. I do. I got my Christmas tree up and I went outside and put up my lights and my stuff outside. He says it's baffling that they still trying to charge Kato with that. Yeah, it is. It is definitely. I'm surprised that it had not been thrown out yet. They linked with the owner and told this man so much shit. And what's so crazy, Big Head so smart, he ain't get in the pick bag them either. Just them three. And him like, huh, you niggas ain't fooling nobody. Oh wow. So Big Head was in the picture with Fred. I mean, they was there too. They just didn't get in the picture. Mm, mm, mm. Oh Lord. Then linked with the owner and told this man so, 4x4 or Louisville slugger not. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off. I know I normally be on longer, but I gotta be somewhere in the morning, so I'm gonna get off so I can prepare and go to bed. But I really appreciate you guys getting on tonight, of course. I was going to say I might have the opportunity if I get up early enough to get on early in the morning, but I gotta be out. I gotta go cut a commercial for one of my clients' businesses in the morning. But I might be able to get up early. All of y'all probably be asleep. I might just drop a couple videos or whatever. But I do appreciate you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. I love you guys. Sleep peacefully tonight and pray when you get off of here, okay? Have a good night.